Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to be doing my follow-up video for Stamp Wars 7. Sorry for the delay, life got in the way a little bit, so I'm trying to get it done today for you guys so that you can see another version of using the stamp set. This is the card we're actually going to make. It's got some embossing, it's got a nice die cut, which is also Catherine Pooler. I used the die cut that I have for the feathers, which I'll show you in a second, some yarn, and I think it turned out pretty cool, and some ink smooshing. So this is the stamp set. It's called Birds of a Feather, and it's got cherish script, it says inspire, it's got this nice flourish, it's got these birds, excuse me, and the birds you can actually do like flying out of the feather. There's a whole bunch of different sizes, and there's this little love postage, there's like this crosshatch, there's a little heart over here, and there's a little flower, there's like a leaf looking, there's another flower, and some more birds. And then this is like a little, looks like a raindrop kind of, so you can use it as a drop, as an accent. And then there's this really cool just like script. It almost looked like Latin or something. So, and then like I said, I have the die cuts. And so this is the die cut that would cut out the feather, and then this die cut actually cuts out something that isn't included in the stamp set, so you get like a little extra bonus, and it cuts out this little feather. So we won't be using this in the card today, but still pretty cute. So the other thing that we're going to be using, of course, the the stamp set, is we're going to be using some Catherine Pooler inks. So I'm going to be using Mint to Be, Mardi Gras, All That Jazz, and Aquatini. So we're going to be doing some ink smooshing, and then I used it also for these feathers. And then we're also going to be using the WOW embossing pad and the WOW Ice Silver embossing powder. Focus, thank you. And then I got this little skein of yarn from Stamps Alive. So we're going to be using that to tie off make it look like we tied off our feathers. All right. And then, as I said, we've got the Thanks die, which is a Catherine Pooler die as well. And what I did too is, this is cut out of like a salmon pinkish colored metallic. I was kind of going for a Southwestern look. And then I also cut the die out of some craft foam, which is just regular craft foam, and then it's also adhesive backed. So it's really great because this is already prepped, ready to go, and I put it on whenever you get, I have like mailing pouches and stuff, and so there's, you know, the backing that's on the adhesive. Well, if you hang on to this, it actually is really helpful because this is ready to go, and it's basically sticker paper. So I set this down, and it's been glued on to the craft foam, and then the craft foam I took off the backing, so it's a sticker. So this is ready to go. All right, let's get started. So I'm going to be using, I have 120 pound accent paper. You can also use watercolor paper. I just wanted something pretty thick because we're going to be ink smooshing. Okay, so what we want to do first is we're going to emboss this. So let's get my materials out. We need, go ahead and just use a coffee filter. Okay, so we're going to be doing the swirly swishes, flourishes, whatever you want to call it. We're going to slow this down, put this down on the stamp block, and then anti-static. I don't know about you guys, but I like rice pudding and stuff. And so they come in, you know, individual little cups. You buy like a 6-pack or something like that, and they come in these little individual cups. Well, that's what this little cup is. It's like, you know, you can also do like applesauce or whatever, those little fruit cups. Put it in the dishwasher, clean it up, and bam, you've got a nice little container for your embossing buddy. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do some swirls, some flourishes, and they're just gonna be kind of random because I just want to cover the back of the cardstock. And then we're going to use this pretty, it's got like, looks like it's got blue and stuff. It's almost iridescent like. It's very blue looking when you lay it down. I think it is pretty blue, but because of the ink blending that I ended up doing over it, it doesn't look so blue, which is really interesting. Okay, so that is done. So now we need to get some ink smushing done. So I'm going to use the white pad, nonstick pad that comes with your glass mat. And I'm just gonna lay down a little bit of all these inks. All right, I'm gonna lay down some water. And then we're going to blend that a little bit. And then we're going to ink smush. Oh, I love it. It's so pretty. It's funny, you'd think that all the colors would just blur together, and they don't. And just get the edges wherever. I don't want white, so I'm just gonna keep doing until all my white's gone. And then if I need to, lost my spray bottle. There it is. I can add some more water and get some more color. Pretty. I'm gonna do the feathers really quick while this dries and let that set aside. The feathers are gonna just be 3 different feathers. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Misty. My stamp is on a stamp block. I'm using the Misty to hold down my paper. We're gonna go ahead and do, I have like, let's see, I think I did all that jazz, Mardi Gras, and Aquatini. So we'll just do one of each. The other thing that this is good for is that it has the mouse pad, the foam insert, and so it kind of gives it a little bit more, you know, give. So you might get a better impression as well. Okay, now we'll do one in Mardi Gras. Yeah, I should be able to get all 3 on here. As always, I will be doing a giveaway. Comment down below. The giveaway is open to residents 18 and older and US only. Unless you have a US postal address, because I know some of our international people actually have a US postal address. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go die cut these first. Actually, no. Again, I used the 120 pound because I'm going to give them a little bit of a distressed look. I'm just going to spritz them because with Catherine Pooler inks, they are water reactive. And so let's see if I can lift some of that ink a little bit. And I love this distress sprayer because if you pull it just ever so gently, it gives you kind of like big splatters, but if you know, do a nice pull, it gives you mist. So let's try and give some droplets here. I'm gonna have to let it sit a little bit longer to be able to pull some water. That's pretty good. All right, so I'm going to work on drying both of these. What I may end up doing is once they're dry, because it will curl a little bit because of how much water we put on it, is I actually put it through my ink, my laminator, you know, and so it'll flatten it pretty good for me. But I definitely need to dry them a little bit, and then I will die cut these and I will be right back. Okay, I have the embossed background, I have my feathers, and then I just wanted to clarify, when I put this through the mink, I do it on 0 heat because it does have embossing on it, and so you don't want to reheat this because that'll just come right off. But if you were to ink blend first and then dry it and then put it through your laminator or mink, you can add heat to it then at that point. But if you're going to have embossing on it and you want to flatten it after that, then definitely do not use heat. Okay, so I have my little feathers, and so the next step we're going to do is we want to group them together, and then I'm going to glue them together first. So I guess I didn't do a green one, but that's okay. So we're just going to match up the little ends here, and I'm literally just going to put a drop of glue under each one. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue under this one, a little bit of glue under this one, and then I'm going to set these aside under a stamp block so that they can adhere. So I just put that there. So I'm going to set them off to the side. And then another good use for your sticker back paper, shiny side goes towards whatever adhesive part you're going to do, is put this down and then put your stamp block over it, over whatever you're gluing, so that you don't get glue on your stamp block. So that is what I just did off to the side. Okay, and then we're going to need a little ribbon out of the yarn. I'm going to just pull off about that much. And we're going to cut that. And then I'm going to tie a ribbon. Oh, there we go. I think I got it. There we go. If you do the bow backwards, then it'll look better. And then just pull on it so that your little loops look decent. And that'll work. And I'll trim that off later. Okay. So that is ready to go. So let's see if my feathers are dry enough. I think so. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do, now this is going to be on the full front of the card. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mount it. Let me brush it off because I've got embossing anti-static bag on it. So let me mount this onto a just regular card base. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use some of my Barely Art glue. Get off of the edge because this is a heavy cardstock. And then this is 100-pound accent. I'm just going to line that up. That's the good thing about using liquid glue, is you have time to move stuff around. As you can see, there's a little bit of a white edge here and here. So what I do then is I get my nice Tim Holtz guillotine trimmer, and I'm just going to trim that down, because you can get down to the most minuscule. You can cut such tiny strips off your paper. Perfect. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put down our feathers, and maybe what I'll do first is put down my thanks, because I want to make sure that my feathers fit Well, let's just do both here. Okay, so the feathers are going to go right about there. So the thanks is going to go, well, let's just put the thanks down. Okay, the other tip that I have for this so that you can see what you're doing is get a piece of purple tape, and I recommend doing the 1 inch wide, not the, I think this is 1 inch, yeah, not the 1.5 inch, because you won't be able to see your die cut then. So you take a piece of 1 inch, or just smaller than what your die cut is if possible, so that you can see the top and bottom of your die cuts. And then I'm going to just lightly do this, and then I'm going to pick it up. And I've shown you guys this before on a video, but this way I can see through it. I can see where my stuff is going. I'm not futzing with a pair of tweezers or anything like that. And this is already double stick tape. So all I need to do is just put it down and it'll adhere. Let's get this lined up and centered. I think that's probably good. That'll work. And I think I might need to add a drop of glue to that little flourish, but okay, perfect. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to glue down our feathers, because we're going to have to put a stamp block over this to make sure that they stick down. And if you wanted to, you can always add like a little piece of foam tape over on the tips here so that they sit up off the paper, but I'm just going to glue them all flat down. So I'm going to do them right there. And then, as I said, we're going to go ahead and lay a block on them. Let's do my bigger block. And this card's almost done. So we just need to add our little ribbon or bow, and then we will be done. All right, I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit to make sure it adheres good, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so those are adhered. So next thing we're gonna do is we're going to attach our little bow, and I'm literally going to just put a gob of glue down, and then I'm going to lay this down on it, and again, stamp block. So that this probably isn't glued down all the way, so we're just going to be gentle with it, but I'm going to now just trim off my little strings, and that's it. This card is done. Pretty stinking cute. I love this stamp set. Be sure to check out catherinepooler.com. I'll put the website link in the description down below, and then also the paper that I get is Amazon, so I'll also put a link for Amazon. I hope you guys enjoyed this card. I really enjoyed the stamp set. It's pretty versatile, that you can use it for all kinds of things. I'm really looking forward to using this a little bit more. I did love how Ryan and Tracy both used this as a matting layer. That was super cute. And this is great for mixed media, like Ryan also used in his video. Speaking of that, be sure to check out Ryan, Tracy, Chow, and Nancy's YouTube channels. Again, I'll link those down below, because they too will be doing giveaways. So watch their videos, answer the questions that they put in the video so that you can be entered into their giveaways. We're also part of the Foiling Snobs Club, so be sure to check that out. I will, again, leave the link below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe if you're not already. And be sure to click the bell so that you are notified the next time we load a video. Thank you. Bye-bye.